5 tips to help you win your fantasy championship and get through those fantasy football playoffs, baby. Let's jump into it. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Tap. My name is Michael, and this is John, and we have got 5 tips for you to help you win your fantasy championship. I mean, that's the goal here, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we're hitting week 14 right now. We more than likely most of your leagues will start your first round of the playoffs after this week. So a lot of you are probably fighting for a fantasy playoff spot. I definitely am in a league or two. We're not going to bring it up right now, though. But yeah, you guys want to make sure you're planning ahead. You've made it far enough to get into the playoffs. So that's the first step. It's a lot. It's very, very disheartening if you get into the first week of the playoffs and your team just starts falling apart. So make sure you guys are prepared for whatever comes your way.
Yep, 100%. So like I said, we've got 5 tips for you guys. Actually 6. We're going to throw in a bonus one out there for you guys, especially with how Monday night's game went. So, but anyways, 5 tips to get you through the fantasy football playoffs and get to that championship and get that dub. First off, plan out your defenses. And this isn't just defenses, but it mainly sticks to them. Really just plan out your players. Look at your matchups coming up. But for instance, okay, Pittsburgh Steelers have a nice matchup going up against the Tennessee Titans in week 15. Pick up the Pittsburgh Steelers defense now. Don't wait until you have to, use your waiver priority or potentially not even have your waiver priority. Maybe somebody else wants to pick them up. Also, another defense John and I were looking at, San Francisco 49ers. They could be a potential 2 weeks of usage. They play Atlanta, and then they play Tennessee in week 16. So week 15, 16, they could be a great defense that you could pick up now, only owned in 52% of leagues.
A couple more for you guys on the lower end, too. Might be crazy, but Jacksonville Jaguars defense over the next 4 games, that's 14-15. That's 14 through 17. You're looking at Tennessee in week 14 with no Derrick Henry. You got Houston, New York Jets, and then New England to finish week 17. So you're looking at about two game great starts and 1 game where you might not want to. And then Seattle as well. Houston in week 14. Week 15, you're looking at the Rams. But to finish off, you get Chicago and then Detroit with Seattle's defense, who's been playing spectacular these past couple weeks. And if we can see it continue, it'd be great. So again, just make sure you guys are pre-planning.
Yes. Pre-plan. Pre-plan. Take a look at your matchups. All right. Tip number 2, target your opponent's handcuffs. If you see that one of your opponents or upcoming, or not even if it's your direct opponent, one of the guys who made the playoffs, their handcuff is out there on the waiver wires, and you can pick it up and block him pretty much from having that player. If his player goes down, then do it. That way it leaves him shorthanded if anything happens. And the other way, inversely, I think, is it inversely? Is that even
Inversely.
a word? Sure.
Inversely is definitely a word.
Okay, inversely, if that's the right word, if your handcuff is on the waiver wire, make sure you have them as well.
Yeah, if both your running backs are players that have a handcuffed back, meaning that someone that's going to take over right away if they were to go down, there is no question about why they're not on your bench right now. They need to be sitting there in case. Again, you want to be prepared for all situations and anything that can happen outside of a whole team's bus, just going off a bridge or something. But
wow, that is very morbid. All right,
we can't say it's never happened.
Yeah, I guess not, but yeah, whatever.
All right, research.
Let's move on, John. Let's move on to teams not falling off of a bridge. Tip number 3, watch your waivers every day. This kind of ties into tip number 2, but watch your waivers every day. See if anybody's been dropped, what moves been happening between you and your opponents and everybody else in the league. But watch your waivers. See if you can sneak somebody out there. Go through your waivers with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah, if you're looking at your matchup and you see he's very running back needy and he's already taking 2 shots in the dark due to some injuries, go grab the best available running back so you give him even less opportunity if you have those available bench spaces. Destroy the waivers and make it hard for your opponents to build teams.
Yep. Number 4, start your studs. There's a reason you got here. Don't go away from it. Your studs are, this is time to shine. This is their time to shine.
Absolutely. This is when you're going to see a lot of the big name players start having bigger games as NFL teams are starting to really put the foot on the gas pedal and try to get themselves into the playoffs. So watch for your players to get involved and then just stay aware. It's part of watching the waivers. If your guy goes down, your receiver goes down, he is no longer your stud. You need to find another one available for you.
Yep. Number 5, final tip is do not overthink it. Don't lose sleep over this, okay? Yes, we want to win. Your gut feeling and what you've been thinking and doing all along is more than likely right. Don't overthink it. Obviously, are there going to be guys that just break out for no apparent reason? Of course. But don't overthink it. Do what got you here and keep on the course.
Yeah, you've won enough games to get into the playoffs, so just keep doing what you're doing, step at a time. And if you think about it 2 or 3 times, just go with your gut.
Yeah.
Go with your gut.
All right. And finally, we have an extra tip for you because we had such a crazy Monday night game. It is winter. It is snowing. There's potentially storms happening everywhere now, being that it's that time of year. It's football weather, baby. Keep an eye on the weather. Just keep an eye on the weather. See what's happening up north, especially in those snowy areas, in the frozen tundra, in the Northeast, in everywhere. Just keep an eye on the weather. Make sure that you are not playing a quarterback, a.k.a. Mac Jones, in 50-mile-an-hour to 60-mile-an-hour gusts, okay? Because then you will get a performance like that. So keep an eye on it.
Just like everything else, it's 100% about just being or staying ahead and being prepared. You need to look. If you just like this week, if you've got a quarterback and you're playing him on Monday, you got players that are playing on Monday, you need to know what those weather conditions are projected to be.
Yep.
I mean, there was reports coming out early on Sunday morning that Monday was going to be a rough night. Give a little bit of headway to everyone to know, like, hey, maybe we should back off. It's time to play these guys, other guys on my bench on Sunday morning when you still have a time to play in. So again, be prepared, stay prepared, and get some wins.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So that is our 5 tips to help you win your fantasy football championship, to help you push through the playoffs to the championship and get the dub. Stay prepared, people. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Don't forget to tune in to our Listener League show this week. It's going to be fire.